Hey guys, welcome to an advert reaction, breakdown, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm watching the John Lewis and Partners Christmas ad 2024. That's because I know that John Lewis's adverts are very highly anticipated across the country. So I thought, why not react to it and see what we can learn from it and try and break down the whole story. They're popular because of their storytelling and high production, and they've done they do a whole countdown around it and everything. It's crazy. Only this year have I acknowledged how much of a big deal their Christmas adverts are, and I also even saw that that ITV News spoke about it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm aware that John Lewis would go to, journalists and allow them to report on it. But my point is, they make it a big deal every year. So let's see why it's a big deal, and we're going to break it down a little bit. So sit back, relax, and enjoy if you haven't seen it yet.
John Lewis is closing in 15 minutes.
Sorry, that's interesting. It's in 1080p. I wanted to put it in 4K, but that's obviously not an option, which is quite interesting considering, this is the big advert of the year. You'd think they'd be able to put it out in 4K, right? Especially if I wanted to watch this on television. Luckily I'm watching on my monitor, so it's not a big deal, and I'm sure a lot of you will be watching it on your phones if you're on your mobile or whatnot, but you'd think you'd still be able to put it in 4K. But hey, who am I?
What are you looking for?
Something for you.
You're not going to find it.
No, not here.
I don't want a doll.
I want a nose ring. Jewellery. He's a politician. What's his comment now? This is happening. Everything's going to be fine. He's healthy. He's amazing. He's the boy.
Come join us.
I can't.
Problem. It doesn't even look good on you. Get out of my room. And you still haven't even found me a gift.
You actually came. Stop this face.
Oh, Sal, get out! What are you doing up there? Hurry up!
What took you so long? You.
Nice. So I've watched through it a few times, and the themes of this are definitely sisterhood, change, and time. I'd say sisterhood is like the main theme, first of all because the two main characters are sisters, because there's no other men in the advert other than that point in the bedroom and then that guy, the guy that was downstairs. And then there's just little nuances throughout the whole advert which are like playing into this whole sisterhood theme, which is quite interesting. Also, the fact that it is all on sisterhood is showing who they're marketing to as well. I can imagine mainly women, but it's really playing in on that relationship between an older sister and a little sister, and the care as well. And we'll talk about that. So to be honest, the first time the first time I watched it, I wasn't aware that they were sisters, purely because the only time they say they're sisters is there, and that frame is there for like less than a second, literally 1 second, which is fine as well, because throughout the process of the advert you will realize that they're sisters through their relationship, which I guess is probably intentional. One thing that I noticed very quickly as well was the sticker on her head, which also plays into this whole sisterhood and feminine narrative. The sticky note the sister has on her head.
He's a politician. What's his comment now?
And you can see it says Cleopatra, who is a symbol of feminine power and intelligence and all sorts. So they're constantly playing into this role, into that relationship. And then also, at this point, took me a while to notice, but it's like that sister intuition when a sister knows.
It's happening. Everything.
And she says like, oh, it's happening straight after, she looks at her hand or whatnot. She feels it as well. So again, it's showing that relationship. The other theme I was talking about in it is change. And when I say that, it's because her little sister's constantly changing, obviously from her being a child in the attic to her being a teenager. And it's like these mood swings, because obviously she's much older here, she's having a child and everything. So it's showing how like there's almost chaos weaved within to the relationship. It's again showing that relationship between two sisters. And although she's constantly changing, the younger sister, you realize that the main protagonist, the older sister, she doesn't change her clothes, but her little sister's obviously constantly changing. And it's like her jacket which she's wearing, so she's wearing this brown sweater throughout the entirety of the advert. It's showing that her love never changes. It's like a reflection of her love. And the example of that is when she comes outside.
You actually...
Here, in this scene, she's like, you actually came, but she's still wearing the same jacket, again, showing like she was, like, it's just reinforcing the idea that she's still there for her, even though we've seen her literally in the rain with this girl and her being all bratty and whatnot and being that typical moody teenager. So yeah, it is really cool, really emotional. And the other one is time. So she's constantly in this big rush. And obviously, I think this is where John Lewis is really coming in with their sales aspect of the advert. Time. First of all, she goes into the shop. She's only got 15 minutes left. If anyone knows that feeling, especially around Christmas time, it can be horrifying. So straight off the bat, she's in a rush. And then she's constantly moving fast. She's running downstairs, which are falling down behind her. So it feels like the whole world's come crashing down. And then suddenly she comes out of John Lewis and everything's completely calm and fine again, which is where their sales come in. And then obviously their tagline being knowing where to look, which wraps it up quite nicely. So yeah, really cool advert. Very emotional indeed. Those themes are very heavily and nicely portrayed. And it's definitely going to resonate with a lot of the country for sure. So I think they do a pretty good job. So yeah, wicked advert. I'm going to check out the highly spoke about Coca-Cola advert, which used AI, which is quite interesting. So we'll get onto that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.